Hello, this is Roger, Low Vision Product Manager here at HumanWare. And in this video, I'm going to review for you the user interface settings that are available in Prodigi for Windows. As you can see on the screen right now, I am logged into Prodigi and my locator is currently located in the header of my carousel. Beneath it is the magnifier icon, and to the bottom are my navigation uh, options for within the carousel. In the bottom left, a back arrow, and the bottom right, a forward arrow. Um, Bear in mind, I am presently using my personal computer to record this video, so I'm using a mouse and keyboard, but almost everything in here can be operated through a touchscreen environment, so I could point and click or point and tap, as well as use my keyboard to tab, for instance, to the icons in the middle of the carousel, at which point I can now use my arrow keys on my keyboard to navigate. Or in the bottom right corner, I could mouse down and click or tap with a finger to navigate through this carousel until I arrive at settings, which is where we're going to investigate what's available to you to adjust the user interface to your liking. So let's click on settings and open that up. And the very first item in the settings list is the user interface. And this is where we're going to spend the vast majority of this video. I'll click on user interface, although you could also tap on it or press the enter key. And this will open up the user interface settings that are available to me as a user. I'll go through these individually one at a time. The first on the list is the interface adjustment for the carousel. As you saw a moment ago, there was a single icon in the center of the screen. This is the most simple interface as well as the largest icon available. I can adjust my interface to show 2 or 4 icons at any given time. So let's click on 4 at the bottom of the list there, and I can tell that it's the selected option because of the check mark to the right. My locator is also circling it now in red. In the upper left, I can tap my back arrow button to return to my user interface settings, and then I can also return back to all of my settings, and finally tap that one more time to return to my carousel. Now I only see two icons on the screen presently, but if I tap in the lower right corner or click in the lower right corner, you'll see 4 icons. So over time, as we add additional applications into Prodigi, they will fill the screen with up to 4 icons at a time. Since I only have 6 active applications right now, one screen reduces to only 2 icons showing. So if you have enough usable vision to operate at this level, by all means, switch your user interface to 4 or 2, whatever's best for your site. I am returning into my user interface settings, and there again are my carousel settings. Beneath that, I'll navigate down to system language. And presently, everything you're seeing is in English. Let me click on system language here, and you'll see that I am indeed using United States English with the voice Darius when I have things read aloud back. And to the right is a check mark showing that that is my selected voice and system language. Beneath it, you can see that I have 3 other voices installed and languages. So I have Karen, US English, Anthony, Canadian French, and Lisa, Australian English. So I have 4 different voices installed. Let me just show you what happens when you use a different language voice. So I'm going to tap on Anthony down here, third in the list, and you'll see up at the top, my language of the interface has also changed to be in French, as well as all of my other interface options. So when you switch your language to a voice from another language, you are going to have your system changed as well as your reading voice changed. Let's switch back to Darius from the US. But what I want to show you next is how to add and remove voices. 4 is the maximum number of voices you can have at any given time. If I continue scrolling down here, there will be a configuration option. It would be higher on the screen if I were to only have one voice installed. But let's take a look at what it takes to, in this case, I need to uninstall a voice in order to add a voice. So let's go down and remove our French voice. So I'll go there and uncheck it. Notice in the upper right corner, that submit button has gone live. But I want to add back a voice at the same time. So I want to remove a voice and add a voice to stay at my maximum of 4. So I'll go in the upper left and hit that back button and return. And let's say I just want another English voice option. So I'm going to scroll back up to English, click on that, and there are a wealth of choices to me here, but I want a United Kingdom based voice. So I'm going to select Graham right now, and that will be checked. Now notice, I was going to say, notice I cannot select, or I would not be able to select if I still had 4 voices installed. So at this point in the upper right, I can click the submit button, or I can back out and click the submit button to change my configuration. Until I do this, I'm going to have the 4 voices we saw when I came in. So let's tap submit to swap out my voices. It's going to ask me if I want to apply these changes. I'm going to say yes. And then we will download and install those voices that I just selected, in this case Graham, and remove those that I deselected. That would be Anthony. So the update is completed, and now I have 4 different English voices from which I can choose for my system. The only system language available to me, and again, that's my interface, is English at present. So I would have to remove one of these if I wanted to have my system presented in another language, and I would have to select a different voice as well. So that's a little bit about the system languages that you might want to select and how they affect the user interface. Backing up to the user interface level again, the next option in the list is the colors in which the interface presents itself. You may recall the carousel showed all of the icons in full color, and all of the text that you're seeing on the screen right now is black text on a white background. Let's click here to see what our options are. Now we can invert colors and so forth on the screen, and there are up to 24 different options available to you to select from. So I am now using the navigation bar on the right and clicking the downward arrow to scroll through the available options. So 24 different options available for your interface. Let's quickly switch to blue on yellow. You'll get a sense of what that looks like. I cannot work with that, but if it works for your eyesight, by all means use it. I'm now going to come to my scroll bar on the right and scroll back to the top. And I am in fact going to switch to a white on black instead of a black on white as my default interface for when I'm using the system now. And you'll notice that it's applied to everything here. And in a few moments, I'll back out so you can see how that applies within the carousel as well. In the upper left, I'll tap my back button and return to my user interface. Next up in the list is applications. So you have the ability to control some of the applications that will appear in your interface. I'll tap here, and by default, your AI assistant, your books application are turned on by default. So you know this by the check marks to the right, and you can deselect them, and thus they will not appear in your carousel anymore. So if you need to simplify, or there are applications that you know that you will never use, then by all means go in and uncheck them. Distance is turned off by default. I can turn that on by checking it. And if I want everything turned on, I can check books. All of them are now checked. They will all appear in the carousel. So when we back out, you will see the full complement of applications in the carousel again as well. This can be helpful if you know that you're not going to use something, or if you just want to simplify the interface. Upper left corner to back up. And now we need to continue down our list to things that don't show immediately. And here is my locator color. And you've seen that throughout the presentation so far. It is in fact showing right now. It is the red box that you see around this selection. I'm going to click on this, and you will see about 12 different colors to choose from that you can select for your locator color. I personally, let's try cyan here. You'll see that. But I personally like royal blue, so I'm going to set to royal blue. That will be the locator color we'll use for the remainder of this presentation. But again, set it to what you like. Upper left, I'll tap the back button and we'll come back out. And we will continue down our list here to the next option available to us, which is our mouse pointer size. Now, typically this would be set to a very low level based upon your Windows settings. However, I've increased mine because in my presentation, I like my mouse to appear much larger so you can see it clearly in the videos. But here you can see I can quickly change it. There's a size 10, and I can use the arrow minus over here to bring it back down. And the 2 is about what it would normally be in a Windows environment. So I'm going to move back to 7. But basically what we're doing here is saying you don't have to go into Windows to make this adjustment. You can make it simply within Prodigy and have the mouse adjusted to the size that you want it to be. And once you've found the size that you want it to be, you can click back outside of it. And now you have a mouse pointer the size that you like. Next up in our list is screen brightness. So I'm going to tap on this, and this will open up a plus and minus button at the bottom as well. Currently, it's set at 50, which is the default brightness. This will also adjust based upon your Windows settings, but you can control it again from directly within Prodigy. So let's just bump it up a little bit if you need those to be a little bit brighter. Let's bring it all the way up to 100 for the remainder of our presentation here. So again, just adjust it to what feels comfortable to you, and then click back out in the user interface, and it will close out that plus minus adjustment. The very last item in the user interface to adjust is the button banner. And I will show you where this is located in just a moment. We'll open it up, and by default, the button banner is set to auto. And what this means is that it shows initially, but then once you begin actions, it will drop out of view and leave a little notch behind that you will click on to bring it back into view. And what this does is it allows you to have full access to the toolbar, but then take it out of your way when you're working to save as much screen space as possible. I often have mine set to hide, which means that as soon as I come in, it's already hidden, and then I have to open it up. But most frequently, because I do a lot of demonstrations, I just have it set to always appear. And that means that the toolbar never disappears from my view. It's always accessible to me and so forth. So you'll need to find the setting that works best for you when you're using the different applications, and then set the button banner to be controlled the way that you like. So I'll show you what that means in just a moment. So let's use that back button in the upper left arrow corner, and I'll tap it one more time here, back to the root of my settings, and then finally one more time, and we will return to our carousel. So notice here that you can see that our interface now has actually 3 icons here where it had 2 a moment ago. Remember, we turned on all of the applications in our carousel. They're also not showing in full color here. We have converted them to that white on black contrast. So it's always throughout the interface now. In the bottom right, I'll tap my arrow, and now I see the other 4 icons. Again, all 7 available applications are now showing in the interface. Let's take a quick look, within the magnifier application here. Oops, I have something in the way there that I'll move out of the way. And you will see that the toolbar is open and it is present at all times. In an auto or a hide mode, it would drop out of view, and there would be a little notch to the center that I just tap on to bring it back up each time I wanted to use it. But by default, I like to have it on for always because I'm demonstrating and I want to show all the functions that are available there. All of these other functionalities like the magnifier are covered in other videos. So that's a quick review of all of the settings that are available to you. Very quickly, I want to highlight one other functionality. Let's say that you've gone through and played with all of those settings and you cannot remember what they were or how you changed them. Go back into your settings, come down to System, scroll to the bottom of the list in your system settings, and there is a Restore Default Settings option to you for your system. And if I click on that and click Yes, it's going to clean up everything in the system. It's not going to remove any of my voices that I've downloaded and installed or anything of that nature. But what it's going to do is clear my OCR samples and then reset the colors, the number of icons that appear, how many applications appear in the carousel, and so forth, back to the default. so I don't have to go through them all individually to make changes again. And then now that I understand how they all work, I could go through them individually and make those settings to be what I want them to be, uh, totally to my customized level. So now we see the default settings have been restored. We'll click OK. Now you see we're back to full color and everything is good to go. The last thing for you to be aware of, and I'll use the lower left corner here to back up one, is the help menu has a feedback option, which is third in the list. Use this to open up a feedback form. There's a link also in the description of this video. Please use that to tell us what you think of Prodigi for Windows, or actually any of our products here at HumanWare, and give us the feedback that you think is necessary for us to continue to improve these products to make them useful for you to meet your low vision needs. Thanks for watching this video.